Hello everyone, John Eisenhower here. Since today is the first day of Module 3, I thought I'd give you a quick video introducing you to some of the assignments and showing you how to especially work on the discussion board for this week. Again, I'm going to be working in an earlier version of the course, so yours may look a little bit different, especially with some of these dates, but you'll find all the information in our course. So I'm in the assignments area, and Module 3 has just opened, so I'm going to go down to it. And before even going into the module, I'm going to take a look at the assignments that we have this week that are right out at the beginning here. Uh, First, of course, I have the due date, and I have the late policy, and then down here I have the readings and the assignments that are the readings and the assignments that are due this week. All right, now normally we have a reading from the Nexus book, and or Outcast United. This week we have something a little different. The first is an OWL handout. Now, OWL stands for Online Writing Lab, and that is an organization at Purdue University. They produce some excellent materials to help people learn how to write properly. They have things. They have handouts about grammar and MLA formatting and all that good stuff. And the handout that I want you guys to read this week is the quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing handout. And all you have to do to access it is just right click it and click open link in new tab. And you'll get you can see a new tab opened up here, and you'll get the handout and you can read it. It's not super long, and it's going to be really important for some of the material we'll go over next week and some of the things I'll ask you to do next week. So download that and read it. Now, if you look at, of course, chapters 11 through 16 in Outcast United, which we'll use for a discussion board in Module 4. Now, what's due this week? Well, you have three main assignments due this week, just like most weeks. You have the Module 3 peer review of the Exemplification first draft. That's in a discussion board, and we'll talk about that. We'll focus more on that in this video. You do have three McGraw-Hill Learn Smart assignments and starting a fourth, grammar and mechanics. So do the reading, vocabulary, and study skills, supporting points and evidence, writing in response to reading, and then begin the grammar and mechanics. Now, the reason I say begin the grammar and mechanics in Module 3 is that this is a long assignment, and you don't want to have to sit down and try to get it finished all in one go. So I would like for you to begin it this week, and you can continue it until you're finished throughout the rest of the weeks in the course. All right, let's go in Module 3 and just take a look at what's inside. So I'm going to click on Module 3. And of course, I have the introduction, talking more about the exemplification paper because that's what we're continuing this week. Going to page 2, I see the outcomes. And remember, this just tells us how the assignments for this week relate to the course overall. These aren't necessarily assignments themselves, but they help you understand why you're doing the assignments. Here we have the assignment summary again, which is exactly like what you will see on the outside of the module. Here again, we have the same study guide that you saw last week that gives you a breakdown of the process for writing the high stakes exemplification assignment. And this is a good place to go back and pick up a copy of the instructions for the first draft. If you don't have them, you can go ahead and download a copy of the second draft, the instructions for the revising the first draft if you need to, and you can download the rubric for the exemplification essay here. And of course, the rubric, this is the document that I'll use to grade your piece. So this is this document here, DRE.097 rubric for the exemplification essay. This document shows you how I break down the points for when I grade it. So let's keep going, page 5. Okay, in page 5 now you're going to see here, this is the exemplification revision or the example revision for the final draft. And it's very similar to what you saw in writing the first draft, but what you see when you scroll down to the specific requirements or the specific guidelines for revision, what you're looking at here are a number of questions. Instead of down here when you look at the different paragraphs, what you see instead of statements telling you what to write. These are questions that you can go down and ask and look at while you're reading your paper to determine whether you actually followed the instructions or not. And it's just one more way to check your work and to revise it. The main way that you'll do revision this week is to get the feedback document that I send to you over Blackboard and use that as your guide for the corrections that you should make. So let's go on to page 6. This, of course, is the page where you will submit the exemplification final draft, and you'll do that the same way that you submitted the first draft by going down to the bottom, clicking View Complete, and uploading it from there. Okay. Now this part, at this part in the presentation, I say we'll come right back to this, but this is what we'll focus on the most in just a minute. We have the discussion forum assignment for the example review, because this is going to take and again, just like everything else in the course, it's easy once you've done it, but maybe not so easy if you've never done it. So we'll come right back to that, but this is the discussion board for the week. Of course, you'll want to continue working in Connect. And just like always, the last page in the module is a link to the questions for the instructor board, which you can use to post questions to me. Remember to post questions of a general nature there, questions about assignments, not questions about your particular grades or your account, because everyone can see that. So going back to the discussion forum assignment, and I can go right back to page 7 by clicking the link over here on the left. Okay, going back to the discussion forum assignment, you can see it's a little different than last time. What we're doing here is a peer review. You don't have any questions to respond to as far as Outcast United goes this week, but you will do a peer review. And so the assignment setup is the same as last week. If you look at the look at the resources and the way the assignment is written, one thing that's a little different is that you will need access to your FTCC student email to complete the assignment. So if you need to reset your password, or if you've forgotten, then you can, down here in the resources you see I put a link where you can access the password reset form, and I'll open that in a new tab to show you what it looks like. You want to do that as soon as possible because it does take a day. Fill out this form, and the tech folks over at Fayetteville Tech will reset your password, and you'll be able to get in. I believe it's reset to your birthday. All right. So what we have to do here for this discussion board is we need to upload our own first drafts, which you should already have turned in at the end of Module 2. You can upload the exact same document, and then we will review the drafts of classmates and then upload our reviews of our classmates' drafts. And let me show you how that works. So I'm going to open the discussion forum assignment. Now remember, you have to create a thread because it just as it says up here, this is a post-first discussion forum. You have to join the conversation by creating a thread. So we'll do that by clicking this button here. Okay. Now what you want to do here, and you can see the process outlined right here. You can see the process outlined in the instructions, down at the bottom of the instructions, 8 steps. And what you want to do here is upload your first draft, the first draft of your exemplification paper. And you want to upload it as a PDF document because your classmates may or may not have Microsoft Word to be able to open those documents. So let me show you how to download your document as a PDF and then upload it to a discussion board. So I have an example here that I can use. And if you go to File, just the same way as you did it last week, File, Download As, and then instead of choosing Microsoft Word, which you normally would use to give a document to me, you choose PDF. So down here in the middle, PDF. A student asked me the other day, what does that mean? It stands for Portable Document Format, and it's just a way that you can get a document that no one, or is very difficult to edit, and it helps protect your personal information. Also, anybody can read it because it's read with free software, and so you don't have to worry about whether your classmates have Microsoft Word or not. So download that PDF, make sure to save it somewhere where you know you can find it easily later. Okay, so I'm just going to save mine to the desktop so I know I can find that later, and save it. And you can see that it appeared at the bottom of my screen because I'm using Google Chrome. If you're using Firefox, yours will probably appear as a green arrow in the top right. And then I'll go back to the discussion board, and I'll just say, I'll just write a brief title, Example Student First Draft for peer review, or Example Student First Draft. And I might just type in a message, see attached. and then I need to attach file. So down here where it says attachments, click browse my computer or whatever that button there says in your browser. Find the appropriate file from your computer. Again, I put mine on the desktop. Okay. And then click submit. All right. And so what happened is that when I did that, a post was created. If I go in there, anybody can come in here and click that link to download my first draft in order to review it. So let me show you how to review someone else's draft. Okay, I posted another one here. I posted another one here for us to use as an example. Load a version of someone else's for me to review. So here is their paper, and I can read it. I can't make any changes to it because it's a PDF format, but I can read it to answer questions about it. So I want to answer the questions on a peer review form. Now let me show you, now that there's a link to it in the assignment instructions, but I also put it in the actual discussion boards to make it easy to find. And if you look, it should be one of the first posts made, and it should have my name attached to it. It should say you can access the peer review form here. If you click on that, you'll see the peer review form appears. All right, and what you want to do is fill this out. And it looks like a lot of questions, but some of it is just copying and pasting. So I'm going to type my name. You need to type your email here. You have to use your student email. If you don't use your student email, it will not work. And in fact, if you don't put in the whole email, it won't even the form will not even the form will not even be accepted. I'm going to put the name of the writer. I'll just make up a name. Now here, you'll notice that a number of the fields ask you just to copy and paste something. So here, it says copy the thesis statement. It says copy and paste the last sentence of the first paragraph in the field below. So I go back to my classmate's paper. I go to the end of the first paragraph, and I copy by right-clicking and clicking copy. I copy the sentence and paste it by right-clicking and click paste. And so I have the sentence here. And then the next question asks me to refer to the sentence. It says, does the sentence you copied above state something about how technology has changed the way we do things? So I say, oh, let's see. It says technology has changed the way we, and it gives us 3 areas. And so I click yes. And so on. It says, what does the first paragraph say about what the writer observes about how people use technology? So I go back and I can see, oh, he said, as I observe this on a daily basis, I'm thrilled to see so many people driving while talking on their cell phones, walking to classes on campus, and talking about the different things people do on their cell phones. So he copies it. And so I just write down there, okay. So now what you want to do is go through and answer all of the questions. And here I'm asked again to copy paste the first sentence of the second paragraph. So I can go back there, look at the second paragraph, copy it, paste it, and then answer questions. Does the sentence you copied above identify a single area? Yep. Change the way in which everyone communicates. Okay, that's a single area. So I click, yes, it does. All right. And I'll just put in some, I'll pause the video and fill out the rest of this for you guys. Just one moment. Okay, during that break, I filled out the rest of the form, and you can see I put answers in. I have to fill out all the fields because all of the fields have asterisks, so they're all required, and the form will not submit unless I do. And when I'm finished, I click submit, and I'll get a message up at the top of the screen, a submission message that says, thanks for participating in the Exemplification peer review. Please check your student email for a document recording your responses. Save the document, then attach it to the Exemplification peer review discussion thread in our course Blackboard site. You can submit another set of responses if you wish. So I can go in, edit my response, or I can submit another response for my second submission. All right, now what's going to happen? Notice it says, please check your student email for a document recording your responses. Now, I already have a student email address pulled up, so let's see what happens after I click submit. All right, now after I click submit, what I got was an email, and it'll come from me. It'll come addressed from me that says peer review attached. And if I click on it, I can see the instructions say, download the attached peer review and attach to the exemplification peer review discussion. And when I click here to see what I have, I can see that it's a document that records my responses. So you guys see the technology has changed the way we communicate, work, entertain. And these are the responses that I gave, each one, that I gave to the fields in the form, all the way down to the end where the author says the effects of technology are good. So what I want to do is download this and then upload it back to the discussion board. So I'll click download. And again, I want to save it somewhere that I can find it easily. So I'm just going to save it to the desktop. All right, and it's come down. So I'll go back to the discussion board. Go back to my classmate's original post. Reply. And then reattach it. Maybe I'll write a nice little message. Click browse my computer or whatever your browser says, whatever the button on your browser says. Find my file. And attach it. Click submit. And then I have completed that part of the assignment, and I can go in and do a second version for one other student. So your job in this discussion board is to post your original post, post your original draft, and then to download the drafts of two classmates, review them, and then respond to their original posts with your review document. All right, guys, if you have any questions about that, just send me an email, call me during office hours, come visit me, or put a question in the questions for the instructor board. I hope that helps. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.